Okay, so I'm just going to go through a couple of these questions on vectors just for anyone that has slightly struggled or not really understanding what it is that we need to do or what vectors are or how we use them. Okay, so these are the first two questions from the first worksheet that I gave you yesterday. So first of all, we've got OACB is a parallelogram. So we know that this is a parallelogram. If we think about our shape properties, that means that the opposite sides are the same length and are also parallel to each other. Okay, so both this side, OA and BC, are the same length and parallel, and AC and OB are also the same length and parallel. That's really important with our vectors because we're told that the vector of O to A is A, okay, in this direction. Now the thing is with vectors, any line that is the same length and parallel to that will have exactly the same vector. So that means that B to C is also the vector A, okay, and important they must go in the same direction. Okay, if that's true, then O to B, A to C, we know are the same length and parallel. So therefore, A to C must be the vector B as well. Okay, so that's important. And let's try and do those things before we start questions because we're going to use some of those during it. Okay, if we go on to the first one then, we want to find a vector of O to C. So we actually want to work out what the vector of that line is that goes straight across, but we don't know anything about it. So what we're going to do is just go on a bit of a journey that will take us from O to C. Okay, and that will be the same as what this vector would be. Okay, so to get from O to C, I'm going to go for a journey. Well, so we could either go from O to B and then B to C, or we can go, which is what I'm going to do, O to A and then A to C. Okay, so we've done our journey from O to C, we've just gone a different way. That's absolutely fine, that's all we need to do. Okay, so we're going to go from O to A and then A to C. Okay, so then it's just the vector of those. Now O to A is A and in that direction, so it's positive A. And we write the vectors with an underline. You'll see them in tests and things written in bold, but we put an underline. Okay, and then A to C is the vector B, and again it's in the same direction as we want to travel, so it's positive B. Okay, so there we go. From O to C would be A plus B. Had we gone the other way, we'd have just got B plus A, which is obviously the same as A plus B. Okay. Have a look at the next one then. We now want to go from B to A. Okay, so we've got a couple of options. Traveling down kind of lines that we know the vectors of. We could either go B to O and O to A, or we could go B to C and C to A. Again, doesn't matter. Let's go B to C and C to A. Okay, so B to C is up here and it's in the same direction as that vector A goes. So again, that is positive A. Now C to A is down this line, so the opposite direction of the vector B. Okay, so we're going to go, let's just draw one line up there. So if you go down the opposite way as the arrow goes, then it will be negative of that vector, so that will be a minus B. Okay, and there we go, B to A. Okay, so that journey there, B to A is A minus B. Had we gone the other way, minus B plus A, we've still got the same answer. Okay, and then lastly, we want to go, C to A, which we already know because we've just done that in our last question. C to A. Okay, obviously we could go C to B, B to O, O to A. Okay, but that's quite a lot of work to do when we could simply just go backwards along this line. So C to A, Okay, again, it's the wrong way down. It's the opposite way of the arrow, so it's going to be a minus of this vector. So it's just minus b. Okay, let's have a look at the second question then. So on the second question, we've got two identical parallelograms put together. Okay, so OACB is identical to BCED. So that first of all, let's mark on our vectors that we know. Okay, so we know that O to A is 2A. So any line that's the same length and parallel to OA, so BC will also be 2A, and DE will also be 2A. Okay, because this is what a parallelogram, so those two sides must be equal. This is a parallelogram, those two sides must be equal. Okay, and then similarly, if OB is B, then AC must be B. And this parallelogram is identical, so BD must be B, and CE must be B as well. Okay, so again, useful to mark those on kind of before you start the question, so they're all there. Okay, then the first one, we're going to go from O to E. Okay, so we want to know the vector of this line from O to E. So let's take a journey down lines that we know the vectors of. So to get from O to E, I'm going to go O to A to C, C to E. O to A plus A to C plus C to E. Okay, so O to A is 2A. A to C is B. And C to E is B. And we're going the same way as all the arrows, so they're all plus. Okay, and we can just simplify that because B plus B is 2B. So we get the vector of O to E is 2A plus 2B. Okay, next one, we want to go from D to A. Okay, so we could go D to B, D to O, O to A. We could go D to E, E to C, C to A. Okay, lots of different ways. We could do D to B, B to C, C to A. Okay, they're all going to give us the same final answer. Okay, so D to A, I'm going to go D to E, and then E to C, and then C to A. Okay, so we're going to go up to E, sorry, along to C, and along to A. So, same direction as the arrow, so that's still 2A. Opposite direction of this arrow, so that's minus B. Opposite direction of that one, so that's also minus B. So then when we simplify, we get 2A minus 2B. Okay, hope that helps. I'll do another video for some of the ones with midpoints as well, so you can have those.